Right, we are continuing on with Vegas Tales. We're still interviewing the possible candidates for inheriting this casino or hotel slash casino. Looks like we have to go through every single dialogue option, so let's continue with that. Um, so why are you here in Vegas?
A Las Vegas wedding was her idea. I told her we could get married anywhere that she wanted.
Vegas seemed perfect. It's affordable and it can double as a honeymoon.
Oh, plus it has casinos. She loves those.
Oh, and it has strip clubs. Todd loves those. He actually made a list of all the clubs he wants to see before we leave.
Yeah.
Just a list of places. There's one club on the list, but it's places that I want to see from the outside.
Todd grew up in a very religious household, so he can be a little embarrassed about these things. It's okay, sweetie. I've seen your list. It's perfectly normal for a man to want to see naked ladies.
I'm not like, it is normal for a man to want to see naked ladies, right? However, like, to go into a strip club, I've been to a few strip clubs in my time, and to be honest with you, it was only because like we were just going out with the lads, and I just don't see the fucking draw. Like, I just don't see I see the appeal. Like, if you just presented it to someone on a piece of paper, here you go to this club and there's lasses dancing around with the fucking tits out. It sounds alright on paper, right? But actually in practice, what's the fucking point? Like, I don't get it. I actually don't get it, and especially like give these people money as well. I just got on Pornhub and not one out. Like that's what you're there for. Why do I want to sit in a fucking bar having a drink with the fucking rock on? You know what I mean? I didn't get it. So that's a bit weird. So he's with you. You're going out on your fucking wedding, and he's wanting to go to strip clubs. Bruh, this guy is like weird in every sense of the word. I didn't get it. Okay, so let's continue about church. And I think that religious thing that she said like he used to be religious or his family's religious is bullshit. It's just a cover up for why he's a creeper.
Todd's family is very religious, very devout.
Oh, I'm not as devout as the rest of them.
Fucking tell.
No, you're just being modest. He's the only boyfriend I've ever had who insisted on keeping his virginity until we get married. I mean,
What?
how impressive is that?
Not very impressive at all. It's pretty sad. It's pretty fucking weird. The whole virginity thing is like so fucking archaic and weird. It's actually like, so you want to get married to someone, right? That you hard, because normally you find, right, you know, like when like these like people that are like devoutly religious and they get married, you find out they get married in a relatively short space of time. I've heard people say like, oh, you've been dating him 6 months and he's never mentioned married. Bruh, 6 months is a fucking dust in the wind. It's fucking nothing. It's a what they call it? It's a dust in the egg timer or whatever it is. I didn't know the term. I'm just making shit up. But like, it's not 6 months is nothing to know to try and get to know somebody. And you want to get married and then have sex. What if you're just not sexually compatible? So you're gonna have to go through a divorce to find that out, bruh. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, and my fucking mouse isn't working. Fucking away, man. There we go. We're back in action. So yeah, are you really a virgin, or are you going for the pity party?
Oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I go over a year without it. So.
Oh
For
shit.
2 years, dear.
I checked someone off my list last year.
2 years is over a year, though, isn't it?
Have to tell each other that. The baseball player.
Oh yeah. Whoa, this gone well. It's gone well. Baseball players, fucked a couple of baseball players. What's that? That's nothing. Nothing, bro. Yeah, tell me about your list.
You know that list every couple makes of people they're allowed to sleep with if they ever get the
No.
chance to, without it being considered cheating.
Yeah, which isn't really fair because I don't sleep with anyone, and she knows that. So.
Well, I've been trying to change that for the past 2 years.
I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get into heaven, so.
Really? Well, I've been trying to get him into heaven for the last 2 years with no luck.
Well, aren't you supposed to be only putting famous people on your list who you don't know?
Well, I didn't know him when I made the list. I just so happened to meet him a year later.
Oh, convenient.
Besides, Todd put my sister on his list.
That was meant as a compliment alone, okay?
Get
he
in.
knows that I would never sleep with anyone besides Becca.
Yeah, my sister did not take it as a compliment. She's still kind of mad about it.
Why though? Take it as a compliment. Yeah, so she just wants to fuck mad baseball stars, and he's just... Bro. See, this is the thing, right? She's dying for a piece of the sausage. He's not giving it. So, well, she's going to go elsewhere, isn't it? You can't blame her for that.
My little sister Rachel, she's so competitive. It's kind of annoying. So I was kind of a prodigy in middle school, so I skipped a grade, and then she skipped 2 grades, and then I graduated 5th in my class at Harvard. So she graduated 4th. It's like her only goal in life is to be just marginally better than me at everything she does.
The two of them have been at it since they were very young. Everything is a competition between them.
Yeah, competition, I rarely win, but luckily she did not go into the legal field. She took the easy route, medicine. I'm kidding. No, if she had joined the family firm, I'm sure she would have been made partner 2 years before me, despite being 2 years younger, but it's fine.
Doesn't have to be a competition, mate. Do you. Honestly, just do you. You'll be a lot happier for it. So when did you first meet? At a brony convention? Oh no, you wouldn't have met at a brony convention because you didn't allow women.
So I just moved out of my parents' house into my parents' apartment building, and I didn't really know my way around the area. So
He was
like,
doing a sign dance outside, wasn't he?
When I went outside, I saw Todd spinning his little arrow sign on the corner. So I went up to him and asked for directions, and instead of just telling me where to go, he spun his sign all impressively and pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
That was like the cutest thing.
Oh, well, she came back after her meeting and she asked for my number, and we went on our first date the next day, and I knew she was the one after our first date.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
I knew it
No,
after
you
the
didn't.
3rd.
Oh, did you?
You knew it after the first date, bro. This guy, anybody could have give him his... If any girl had shown him a slight piece of attention, he would have thought like, oh yeah, she's marriage material, bruh. See, that's the problem as well, right? Do you know when you do your intent on keeping your virginity until marriage? Like, how are you supposed to know what else is out there? It's so fucking crazy. And why was it only the 3rd day for you? That seems a bit more sensible. Still a bit too soon though.
We streamed The Notebook at my place. All my past boyfriends had refused to watch it with me. Todd not only agreed, but he cried multiple times while watching it. I knew right then if he ever proposed to me, I'd have to say yes.
Oh, wow. So what about your past boyfriends? Come on, tell me who you've been with. Proper linebackers.
Oh, there were a lot of them.
I bet.
Right?
They were all so full of themselves. They were either rich or famous, or both rich and famous. The worst combination. That doesn't impress me.
They weren't as great as they sound, okay?
No, some were actually very cool. But I don't really talk to them anymore. Todd gets a little jealous when I do.
No shit.
But Todd hangs out with all of his ex-girlfriends, except Lily, of course.
Oh, he does have
I'm
ex-girlfriends.
not really worried about them. If he's not sleeping with me, he's definitely not sleeping with them. So.
I think Todd might be sleeping with a lot of women. I think he's just playing. Oh shit, lads! I figured it out. Fucking mind blown. She's rich. She's really well off. This guy's playing the innocent marriage thing so he can get a cut of that money. Because lads, that is awesome. That is awesome. This guy's actually playing her. I didn't see it coming. I've only just seen it. Who's Lily?
Oh, Lily. She was just the worst. I wasted 6 months of my life dating her, and that is all that needs to be said.
She used to physically abuse Todd. I'm so proud of him for breaking up with her. Even more for talking about it.
It's not really what she makes it sound like. She doesn't know the whole picture.
I mean, Todd could have easily defended himself. But the thing about Todd is he would never hit a woman. Ever.
Well,
yes,
no
he would.
Real man ever would.
Especially Lily.
No, I think they
don't
would.
think I could hit a 95-pound elderly woman either.
What? Lily's the old Bruh. Really? See? He went for the old woman because he wanted her inheritance, and obviously that didn't work out, so now he's with this young girl that's fucking rich. Oh man, I see right through your act. I see it.
My parents own a small apartment building on the Upper East Side. They let me live there rent-free. I just pay for utilities. Todd's gonna move in with me once we're married.
Yeah.
Apricot's gonna have to move out, but It's totally gonna be worth it.
Is Apricot the dog, is it?
My puppy. Her name's Apricot. Unfortunately, Todd is severely allergic to dogs, so she can't be living with us. But I'm sure it won't be hard to find someone who wants to adopt an adorable little teacup Pomeranian. I'll miss her, though.
Oh, she's making a lot of changes for Todd. That's the start of an abusive relationship. And it's like, oh yeah, I've got allergies, I don't like dogs, won't get your dog out. No, that thing that you love, gotta kick it out. You love me more, don't you? You love me more, don't you? Why won't you get rid of your dog? Yeah, this is gonna be a bad relationship, but he knows that. He's gonna make her lose everything that she is, and he's gonna adopt it all. What a fucking legend. Right, what we got now? Famous.
I used to date this famous singer. I'm not going to name drop because that's gauche, but you definitely know who he is.
A lot of women have been with musicians, and to be honest with you, we all know that musicians are not one-woman men.
It was actually pretty serious between us. I mean, he asked me to move in with him. I met his parents. It was kind of the real deal.
Oh, well, guess
What happened?
It's a good one, but I feel bad for her because he broke up with her.
Actually, I never told Todd this, but I was still with the singer when I met him. I didn't break up with the singer until we became official. It's crazy to think, if I hadn't met Todd when I did, I totally could have been married to the wrong person right now.
So, you cheated on him with me?
Well, no, because you haven't had sex, had you really? Well, that's the. I don't think that's. Oh yeah. Is it? Yeah, that is cheating. Actually, I just realised it from that point of view. Yeah, because she was actually with the singer, and she was going on dates with this guy. So yeah, that is cheating. Fuck that. That is classed as cheating in my book. Right. Actually, anything when you're actively looking for something else in your relationship, that is fucking cheating. I don't give a fuck what you say, man. Proposed.
Todd's proposal was the most unique one I ever had.
Was he dressed as a horse?
Before me.
You were the fourth. I told you this. Oh, the first guy was at the Eiffel Tower. Ugh, so cliche. Second guy did the whole, wedding ring at the bottom of a champagne flute at the 5-star restaurant on Valentine's Day. We've all seen it.
Yeah, these guys have no originality.
The third guy was the worst. He had the proposal up on the Jumbotron at a basketball game. Like, how was that supposed to impress me? He literally owned the basketball team. He could make it say anything he wanted. That sort of stuff, it doesn't go far with me.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just the lucky one.
What did Todd do? What did he do?
Question?
What did he do? I've actually missed what. Yeah, Todd's proposal. What did he do?
Okay, so Todd was helping me lose weight at the time.
She asked me to help.
And, I'd asked this of other boyfriends before, and they always dismissed me. They were like, "Hun, you're perfect as you are." And I was like, I don't want you dismissing me. If something's important to me, I want my boyfriend to take it seriously,
Again,
too.
I was just trying to help. That's all I was.
Oh, you did more than that.
Did he put his fingers down your throat to help you?
He kept a log of everything I was eating. I mean, it was like having my own personal trainer at home.
Yeah, it was she laid out everything she wanted me to do. I just did what she asked me to.
And there was like this stubborn last few pounds I just could not seem to get off no matter what. So Todd told me he would marry me if I hit my target weight. And that was all the incentive I needed. I shed those last 3 pounds stat. I lost it so fast he didn't even have time to save up for the ring.
Well, I thought I was going to have more time.
I literally just didn't eat for 4 days. It was all the motivation I needed.
Todd, what a guy. This guy straight up emotionally blackmailing his lass to lose weight. What a fucking wow. This guy is something else. I'm surprised to help her lose weight, he wasn't the one sticking his fingers down her throat to make her sick. That is just next level.
We
Still haven't got a ring.
decided to skip the whole engagement ring thing and the wedding band thing. It's such an outdated concept. Plus, Todd thinks it's a waste of money.
Well,
which it is.
Rings are a scam. There's a great Adam Ruins Everything video about that, actually.
Yeah. Plus, I deal with a lot of high-profile clients at work, so if I had a ring, it would have to be huge, something that Todd couldn't afford. Really, I know.
Whole thing's a scam.
But, people really do judge you for the clarity and size of your diamonds. So it's best I just don't have one at all.
Oh, people judge you on the size and clarity of your diamond as if the fucking human eye can judge the clarity of a diamond from fucking seeing it on someone's hand, you fucking can't. Oh my god, it's shit. Actually, I agree with Todd, it is a fucking waste of money. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand like the gesture of giving someone a present, which is great. But to have like the quality of that present meet a certain standard, fuck off, you twat. Right, so who's your high profile clients?
Our firm represents a number of well-known clientele. I'm not really at liberty to name names, but there's a few athletes and politicians who you
That's
might
how you
have
get
heard.
dogged, innit?
You know, I was actually an athlete. I was the star player
No, you
on my
weren't.
high school
No, you weren't.
football team. And I would have gone pro. Everyone would know my name, but I had a knee injury. So
Oh yeah, I mean, look at him. He would have totally made the NFL had it not been for the injury. I mean, once he kicked a 20-yard field goal in a high school game, like that is extremely unheard of, from what I understand. I almost went pro in gymnastics, but that didn't work out for me either.
Everybody's always nearly been pro at something, and it's like being like, well, they haven't really. They'll always say like, oh, I was nearly a professional because I took gym as an option in school. I was nearly on David Beckham's team, but like I've never played football. But if I had, I would have been. Yeah, fuck that.
When I was very little, I trained under the famous Italian gymnastics coach Sergio Endolini. My parents were
aye.
convinced I was going to make it to the Olympics. I had
Okay.
the
Stop.
leotards
Stop.
and
That's enough.
Oh,
Sergio Andolini isn't a real person, all right? We're not married. The only reason I said we were married is because I wanted to get a free room upgrade at the hotel.
as you can tell, he's a cheapskate.
Well, as you can tell, she is a hooker.
Okay, I'm not a hooker. I'm a sex worker.
Oh, so I'm so
and we didn't
sorry.
even have sex because you were busy crying the whole time.
Not
so-
true, not true, not true.
No, it is kind of true. The only reason I'm still sitting next to this person is because I wanted to be paid for this book. So, and now you've ruined it. So thank you.
I ruined it.
Yeah, you
You're the
did.
one who made me look like a complete loser.
He kind of is.
You know what? I
so
don't
is any of it true?
I'm sorry for wasting your time. Goodbye.
Can I still get paid?
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's continue with these because I didn't look as if there's many questions left to ask these. I did not expect that to happen. To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed that it wasn't all true. I thought I was onto something with him being an abuser, an emotional blackmailer. Las
A
Vegas.
few years ago, we heard that Las Vegas had undergone some changes and was very family friendly now. Once we heard that, we just had to come check it out.
And we were not disappointed. There's a lot more to do here than just gambling and attending wild rock concerts. There's an aquarium, a history museum, and gondola rides.
Ooh,
We
gondola
even found a
rides.
soup kitchen that lets us volunteer every time we come here.
We do participate in some of the wilder activities too. Last year, we toured the Pinball Hall of Fame. I figured we are in Vegas after all. We might as well get a little crazy while we're here.
I like pinball. It's pretty cool. I just like playing on classic pinball machines. It's something awesome about it. Yeah, what rock concerts do you like going to?
We've never been to a rock concert.
Oh, you
We
haven't
really
been to
should
one.
go sometime though.
Walter wasn't the biggest fan of rock music for the longest time, but it was Sarah that convinced him to give it a try.
All the rock music I heard growing up just seemed so edgy. I figured it wasn't for me.
Daddy just hadn't listened to the right bands.
That's true, because I wasn't the biggest fan of rock music either, when all I ever heard were wild groups like the Beatles and Billy Joel.
Wild.
If Sarah hadn't shown me that there were less rowdy bands out there, I'd probably still be missing out.
Like who?
It is amazing how much Sarah's changed our lives.
Who you been listening to? Fucking wild bands like the Beatles. Oh, aye, wild.
None of us gamble, but I don't understand why it has such a bad reputation.
I've never gambled before, but I do want to try it when I turn 21 next year.
I've tried it. Gambling isn't really for me, but it seems like an innocent enough pastime.
Nah, gambling's pretty bad. Like it's if you can just go and like do it for like a laugh, like maybe like once a year, twice a year, something like that. Aye, but like when it becomes like if you're the type of person that just can't stop or you got no self control, then it's fucking terrible.
We all love doing charity work, but to be honest, Alice and I don't find nearly as much time as we should. Sarah, on the other hand, always finds the time.
She volunteers every week at an assisted living facility, a food bank, and an animal shelter. I wish I had her youthful energy.
Thank you. They're just being modest. They both do plenty.
When I was younger, I did what I could. Now all I really do is make the occasional donation.
What about when we went to the beach last summer?
That's true. We spent the day cleaning the beach, and we had a contest among
What?
ourselves to see who could collect the most trash bags worth of litter.
Daddy won by a full bag.
It doesn't matter who fills the most bags. What matters is doing our part for the environment.
Every
Bruh.
piece of litter you pick up off the beach is one less piece that'll make it into the ocean. That's what Daddy always says.
I mean, Daddy is right. But at the same time, you went to the beach to pick up litter. Like, come on. You know what it is, though? It's just me being jaded. But if you can get pleasure from that, fucking all the power to you. Like, honestly, like, fucking hell.
Sarah used to only volunteer there once a month. She wanted to work more, but they didn't need the help.
True, but when Sarah wants something, she finds a way to make it happen.
You just went and helped
While
anyway.
working there, I learned that a lot of the local homeless people were illiterate.
She talked them into letting her use their facility to hold a literacy class once a week.
It's every Friday night from 6 to 9. There wasn't a lot of attendance at first, but it's a pretty full class now. And I've made some good friends there too.
It's the one night a week that I let Sarah stay out until 9:30 now. I don't want her coming home that late, but she's really making a difference in people's lives.
There's no literacy class. What a load of bullshit. She's gone out partying with her friends. She's like, oh, Dad, I set up this new literacy class for homeless people. Oh, yeah, they fucking dig it. They love it. I'll be home at 9:30. She's really go out. She's getting absolutely dogged all over. Right, animal shelter. I bet you this is another night she stays out late as well. Watch it. Animal shelter is another night where she stays late. She's cleaning the kennels or something when she's actually going out clubbing.
I've been helping out at the shelter for over a year now. I love working with the animals.
We used to be part of the neighborhood pet patrol.
Whenever anyone in our town lost a pet, we'd post flyers and work the phones until that family had their missing member back.
I miss doing that.
We used to be part of the pet patrol, but it's handled online now. I hear it's very efficient, but we don't have the internet in our house, so we're not part of it anymore.
You haven't got the internet. Why though? Yeah, why? You know why they don't have the internet? So, one of these has got a really bad criminal past, and he doesn't want them getting Googled.
I know people who have internet in their homes, and it does seem pretty useful, but there is a lot of bad stuff online.
Don't go out the house. There's a lot of bad
Online,
stuff out the house.
There's a lot of good stuff on there too.
I'm sure it has its uses. It's just too easy to stumble across unpleasant language or other bad things. I just don't want it in my home.
Walter's dental practice does have its own website. People can book appointments online.
My secretary Janet runs the site for me. We have internet at the office, and she is great at using it. She spends some of her downtime on a website called the TikTok.
Oh, I've never heard of that one. What is it?
What the?
Honestly, I have no idea. Janet has showed it to me multiple times, and I just can't wrap my head around it.
The TikTok. Secretary straight up fucking.
I've known Janet for years.
TikToking all
She's
day.
in my book club.
I play golf with her husband Frank. They're good people.
Frank and Janet invited us up to their fishing cabin this weekend, but we had to turn them down.
We didn't want to be rude by declining, but fishing really isn't our cup of tea.
I just don't see how snatching another life form from their home could be fun. What did those poor fishies ever do to us?
Shit in the water.
I love volunteering there.
Some of Sarah's best friends are residents there.
She's talking about Harold and Eleanor. I've learned so much from them.
They love having her there too. They tell me all the time.
Walter and I thought we did our fair share of volunteering, but Sarah puts us to shame.
It really shouldn't count as work if it's fun to do.
Yeah, tell me about Harold Shipman.
Harold is the friendliest person you'll ever meet. He can go on for hours about the past.
He used to own the hardware store in town when I was a kid. They had a toy section that was only a few feet wide, but it felt like a full toy store to us kids.
You know, the way you're going on about the past makes you sound a little like Harold.
Well, I don't think I'm quite the storyteller Harold is. He really likes to go into detail.
That's true. He once told me a story about toilet paper that lasted for 20 minutes.
Oh,
But it was
nice.
a good story.
We've all heard that one. Harold likes to go on and on about how toilet paper rolls have gotten smaller and smaller over the years. So now you have to buy a 12-pack of toilet paper just to get the same amount of toilet paper that used to come in a 4-pack.
He has a point. I mean, if they still made them like they used to, my grocery trips would be a lot easier.
Yeah, so this guy likes a Harold Shipman. He was a general practitioner. I know this guy's a dentist, but I'm seeing the similarities. This guy murders people in his. Yeah, that's why there's no internet. No traceability. Oh shit, son.
Eleanor was a phone operator for most of her life. From what she says, there was a time when operators had to manually make phone calls go through. I can't even wrap my head around that.
I've known Eleanor for years. She organized the town's first bake sale, and she always had the best Christmas decorations every year when I was growing up.
Our town gets very into Christmas lights. Walking around and looking at all the decorated houses, it's a tradition for us.
I prefer driving around. It's a lot warmer.
Can't disagree with that. Sarah and I don't like the cold weather as much as Walter does.
Oh, I've always loved the winter.
Me
Playing
too.
outside in the snow is one of my favorite things growing up.
Me too, bro.
I've made more than my fair share of snowmen.
I'm more of a summer girl.
Me too.
Yeah, I like the cold. I like the winter. I like ice. I like snow. And we just don't get enough of it in England anymore. It's a shame. So, she's a summer girl, is she?
Walter likes the winter, but you will not catch me outside if there's snow on the ground.
We've never helped Daddy shovel snow once. We just stay inside with the heat cranked up.
Believe me, they more than make up for it in the summertime. I can't remember the last time I watered the lawn.
We do love finding excuses to work outside during the summer.
I'm starting a charity car wash. I already have a bunch of other girls signed up. We're starting on Memorial Day.
I love the car wash idea. There are always plenty of worthy charities that need the money.
Plus, it's a lot of fun. It's like getting to go to a water park for free.
It's not though, is it? A charity car wash is like going to a water park. What type of water parks you been to?
I love water parks. One of my favorite things about living in Utah is that we have so many of them.
I'm a bit of a water slide enthusiast myself.
I'm not really into the water slides. My favorite part is the lazy river.
I'm into the
I think
waterworks.
Sarah's favorite part is all the attention she gets from boys when she gets to wear her bathing suit.
That's nice too, but I've always loved water parks. My parents used to take me all the time when I was growing up.
My favorite ride is the one where you have to cross a bunch of lily pads while holding on to the rope.
Oh, that's canny.
Walter always makes it across, though. I mean, that defeats the purpose. You're supposed to fall in. What's the point of going to a water park if you're not going to get wet?
I like the challenge. It's hard to get across. Plus, my feet get wet.
I don't think he gets it.
Yeah, actually, notice those lily pads are fucking awesome, right? Because I remember my mates going to the water park and they had like, it was in Cyprus, and they had like a what was it, like an adventure pool? You know what I mean? Where it had the lily pads where you could hold up the ropes and like go across the stand of the pads. But we didn't used to do that, and you actually get wrong for doing it, but we did it anyway. Is you just have to try and run across the lily pads as fast as you can, and it's so fucking dangerous because you just slide off the edge into the concrete. But mate, it was so good, especially when you succeeded. Felt like you were on a Ninja Warrior or something. It was a fucking banger. I tell you what else I did as well. In that same park, is in that same area they had a zip line, and there's a massive rope attached to the zip line so that when someone goes down the zip line all the way to the other end of the pool and get off, the guy who was like operating the zip line could like just pull the rope and bring the thing that you hold on back to it. I went down the zip line and that thing actually got wrapped around my leg, so I'd done a fucking Flipmore 360 kickflip in midair, and I was just hanging upside down off the zip line from this rope. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? He's caught us, it's a fucking trap. So anyway, next. What we doing? Sarah's parents.
My mom and dad live just a few blocks away from us, so I get to see them all the time.
Oh, did you think Sarah was our daughter?
Oh
We get
shit,
that a
she's
lot.
not.
I just don't understand why so many people think we're related. I
Well,
don't see the resemblance.
Yeah, Sarah and I aren't related, but we
what the fuck are you doing here?
to the same daddy.
what?
We met Sarah when she was 18 and fell in love right away. She became my second wife 6 months later.
Well, I could never live up to his first wife, though. Alice
What?
is amazing.
Oh, Sarah's just being modest. She is an incredible wife.
She's a crackerjack in the bedroom as well.
That's just because I had such a great teacher.
Oh, well, Sarah's the real teacher. Did you know
What
you
the-
could use your feet in the bedroom? We had never heard of such a thing, but Sarah showed us, and now, by golly, Walter can't get enough of it.
And don't forget the thing you do that Alice likes. I have no idea how she comes up with these things.
Well, I didn't invent them. I learned them on the internet.
Well, the internet doesn't seem that bad. Maybe we should think about getting a computer.
Can we, Daddy, please?
What the well, lads? Sorry, they just dropped a fucking bomb. What the lads? I didn't even know what. So So what? Wait, let me. I need to put what? She isn't their daughter. So wait there. She is his wife. She is his ex-wife. But they still have sex in the bedroom together. She's showed these two that you can wank him off with her feet. He absolutely loves it. And she still calls him daddy. Wow. This game is a fucking bang. It's not even a game. Bro, this is fucking hilarious. No way. Where didn't we just learn about? And he doesn't like her to be in later than 9:30. What the fuck? Everybody's relationship is fucked. This is hilarious. I still think she's going to be like the normal one, apart from she's probably killed a few people, but I mean, that's okay. Right, we'll find out about her. So how did you end up in Vegas by accident?
Well, I didn't mean to end up here, but I was on a bus on my way to Denver, and the bus stopped here, and I got off to use the bathroom, but I guess I took too long because when I came back out, the bus was gone, and it also had my luggage on it, so when I got here, all I had was the clothes on my back. But I'm glad it happened because I had a really good time here.
And that's all that matters. What's in Denver?
Well, I wasn't in Denver proper, but I was about half an hour away at this ski resort very close by. Anyway, I worked at the ski resort first as a ticket salesperson, but then I studied and worked really hard to become a ski instructor. But sadly, like all my jobs, it didn't last. The first time I took a group out to go skiing, I was supposed to bring them to an intermediate level hill, but unfortunately I read the color coding wrong and I brought them to an
and everybody
advanced
died.
hill. There's a huge difference between an intermediate hill and an advanced hill. I, of course, lost my job.
Did anybody lose their lives though?
Oh, I've done it all. I've delivered pizzas, I had an ice cream truck, I worked in a pet shop, I even worked on a cruise ship. I've had some truly wonderful jobs, but sadly nothing ever worked out.
Well, tell me about the cruise ship. Thing is though, like, you always think like working on a cruise ship will be awesome, but apparently it's one of the fucking hardest jobs ever because it's so strict. Like, the time frames and like deadlines are like insane.
That was the most amazing job I've ever had. It was also the shortest. Unfortunately, the first time that we went out, we actually hit an iceberg and sank like the Titanic. Some of the lifeboats got destroyed, but most people were able to get on one. The rest of us had to survive by climbing onto the iceberg.
She is a disaster.
After the ship sank, there were over 80 of us stranded on the iceberg, and we had no way to call for help, no food, no water. So out of desperation, we took off our clothes and we tried to form a sail out of them, hoping that we could ride the iceberg to shore.
Great plan. How did that work out for you?
The sail we made out of our clothes didn't end up working, and it didn't move the iceberg at all. Actually, after an hour, it just blew away in the wind anyway, so we were just left there half naked and freezing. Luckily, a cargo ship came upon us, and they were able to rescue us from the iceberg. But we didn't speak their language, and they didn't speak English, so we couldn't explain to them why we were all half naked on an iceberg. They dropped us off in Quebec after a very awkward trip. I don't know what happened to the other survivors. When we got to Quebec, we all just separated. Hitchhiking back to the United States from Canada was really unpleasant. Everyone only spoke French, and I was still half naked. Luckily, someone did stop, and they had a pickup truck, so they let me sit in the back, and they stopped 20 miles from the New York border, which was great because I only had about a 6-hour walk back to the States.
Oh, nice. 6 hours. That's not bad.
I know they say you shouldn't hitchhike because it's dangerous, but the thing is, I've had a lot of luck hitchhiking over the years. The first time that I hitchhiked, I was going from Detroit to Albuquerque, and these three really nice dudes in a hippie van picked me up. It turns out they were a traveling folk band, and they taught me how to drive so that I could drive down the highway while they were practicing in the back. It took a really long time to get to Albuquerque because they kept having to stop for shows, and we did have to camp in their van every night, but it was still great.
That's
You know,
hilarious.
I've met my fair share of famous people over the year, but this was really cool because they were real musicians and we got to get pretty close. Also, by the time we got to Albuquerque, I was so good at driving that I passed my driver's test the first time.
Oh, well, every cloud has a silver lining and all that, doesn't it?
I met Orville Redenbacher at the airport once.
Don't know who that is.
It was awesome. He was in line trying to get his luggage, and I thought, should I approach him or should I not? You know, I imagine a famous popcorn magnate like that is probably constantly having groups of people swarming him trying to get his autograph. But anyway, I decided to go for it. So I went up to him and I said, I love your popcorn commercials. And he was really flattered and turned out to be a super nice guy. He even signed my cast. Anyway, that was in 1997. I found out later that he had actually died in 1995, so it couldn't have been him, but it
What
was
the
a really
fuck?
nice old man, and it was still a really fond memory.
That is just hilarious. Yeah, the only thing is this is just taking ages to get through her
I
dialogue.
broke my arm at the zoo. You know those signs that warn you not to feed the animals? Well, you should
Oh shit. Okay.
really pay attention to those. I tripped over one, landed on the sidewalk, and broke my arm. It was okay though because I had an appointment at the hospital later that day anyway, so I just had my doctor fix my arm then.
Oh, great. Great. Two birds with one stone.
Oh, I've been to the hospital a lot. I tend to get hurt pretty easily. You know, I've had so many x-rays and MRIs. I'm surprised I don't have superpowers. I've broken a few bones over the years. I've been in all kinds of accidents. A hunting accident, a skydiving accident, normal stuff like that.
I don't care. This is the least interesting person I've ever met, had the misfortune of listening to. I don't care about any of this. Can we just tell me about, like...
When you see people parachuting on TV and in movies, it seems like they're being gently lowered onto the ground like a feather. But I am here to tell you that is not the case. Even with the parachute, you're actually falling really fast and impact can be really rough. I found that out the hard way. I was walking around and a skydiver landed right on top of me. Actually broke my arm in 2 places and gave me a concussion. I never saw the skydiver again, which is too bad because I'll never have a chance to thank them.
For what? Thank them for what?
Well, if it weren't for them landing on me, I wouldn't have gotten a concussion, so I wouldn't have gone to the hospital, and they wouldn't have given me an MRI, so I never would have found my brain tumor.
Oh
They say
shit.
there's nothing they can do for me, but at least now I know I only have 3 or 4 months left to live, so I can start checking things off my bucket list.
Oh, good. So you're definitely not getting it then because you're going to die. Oh, good. We've already found she's going to die. That's great. I mean, right, so what's her problem going to be? I'm dying to find out. So taxidermy, you're like cutting people up. That's what it's going to be. She's going to be a murderer.
Taxidermy is a hobby of mine. Whenever I find a dead animal, I take it home and I stuff it. And then I save them, and when I have enough of them collected, I take them to dying children in the children's hospital. Because children love stuffed animals.
When the children die, do you stuff them as well? I hope you do.
I like to visit kids in the cancer ward. Yeah, I ask them to draw me a picture, and then I trade them for one of the stuffed animals. It makes them feel better to barter. No one wants to be pitied, just given stuff.
Truth.
Even kids dying of cancer.
Exactly. Just because you got cancer doesn't mean you lose your
I
dignity.
save all the pictures they give me.
A bit creepy.
They say that a piece of art at least doubles in value once the artist dies, and I'm sure their parents will pay top dollar in about a decade.
Yes! What a business venture! She is definitely getting this hotel. She's fucking business savvy.
People don't barter enough these days. They don't haggle enough either. For instance, if someone has a poster for a lost pet and they offer a $100 reward, now in my experience, most people would just take the $100 and be happy.
True.
I try to haggle a little.
Yeah, I would as well.
They'll go for at least 150. I mean, no one posts their best offer on a flyer that's going on a telephone pole.
That's so true. Why did I never think about that before? If I ever see a poster for a lost dog and it's got like £100 reward, I'll just, when I ring them up, when I find the dog, I'll be like, yeah, it took us 2 hours to find it at £15 an hour. There's 30 quid, so I want at least 130 quid for the return. Actually, and the petrol cost of delivering the dog. And if you see you want to come and collect the dog, I don't do collection, mate. I can only deliver it because I don't want you knowing where I live. So yeah, it's going to be 130 quid plus fuel expenses, and I'll give you a dog back. And if you don't want to pay that, then I'll just keep the dog. So what do you think about that? Right.
Yeah. I return lost pets to their owners as a side hustle.
Yes.
See, whenever I see a flyer that has a reward offered and a phone number, I take it down. And then I post the flyer with my phone number and I offer half the reward. And someone else finds the pet, returns
Fucking
it to me.
amazing.
Then I do a nice little markup, call the original phone number, and reunite the pet with its parent for a profit. Does very well.
That is amazing. Fucking hell, yeah. This woman does not cease to amaze me. She's so clever. Tell me your fake IDs.
Oh, I never had a fake ID. I grew up in a small town. It would have been pointless. Everybody knew everybody else anyway. And really, the only reason to have a fake ID is so that you can buy beer before you're old enough. And I don't drink. I did buy a lot of beer for other kids when I was in high school, though. I mean, sort of. I would buy the non-alcoholic beer, and then I would peel the labels off, and I printed my own, put something, generic and fancy sounding. And then, during study hall, I would just sell it at a drastic markup. Nobody
You
ever called me out on
legend.
it.
You
I don't
legend.
think they ever figured it out. I even remember hearing some of the kids brag about how much beer they were able to consume. Oh, they must have been very shocked when they attended their first college party.
Shit, they probably killed themselves drinking too much real alcohol. Yeah, she is a fucking enigma. She is like the best person I've ever not really met. I want to know more about human trafficking. I think we should get into this business together.
They say human trafficking is a $150 billion a year industry, and I want to know how they know that. Are human traffickers reporting?
That's what I said.
Or are they just making up numbers?
Last episode, that's what I said. How would they know that? Because it's not exactly a fucking recorded job, is it?
I think everyone should have hobbies.
Yeah, I agree.
I like taxidermy and sensory deprivation. I made my own
Yeah.
sensory deprivation tank once. I like to lie in it and be alone with my thought. It's very peaceful in there. I slept in it once.
Almost like being
It's like
dead.
sleeping in a coffin.
Yeah, it is.
Have you ever tried sleeping in a coffin?
All the time, on the regular.
It's relaxing. It's cozy. There's extra layers of noise insulation in case you have loud neighbors. I slept in one back when I had college roommates.
When you had college roommates, what happened to them? Did you kill them?
Oh, I didn't actually go to college, but I lived in student housing after high school. See, you don't actually have to be a student to live there. I hated having roommates, but it's all I could afford. I bought my own place as soon as I could, but they kicked me out.
What? How? How were you kicked out of your own place?
I bought a burial plot. No one told me I wasn't allowed to move in until I was dead. That is a stupid rule.
It's a pretty stupid rule.
Sued them. but they agreed to give me my money back as long as I took my coffin and left.
She actually sleeps in the coffin. So what did you do in high school?
High school is awful. I mean, you undergo years of traumatic experiences, and then when you finally escape, they invite you back for a reunion so that you can go spend more time with the same people who made your childhood traumatic. I don't understand it.
Oh, so she had a
Do
traumatic
survivors
childhood.
of other traumatic experiences have reunions? I mean, do people who lived through a plane crash get together and reminisce about the turbulence they experienced before it all went pear-shaped?
I mean, they kind of do if they get therapy. I imagine that's what they do in therapy. But yeah, I can't relate to that because I had a fucking awesome school, like high school and stuff. What do we call it? Senior school. It was fucking, I don't know, I enjoyed school, me.
I've never been in a plane crash. I fly all the time, but every flight has always been incident-free.
It's a shame, innit?
I guess I'm just not very lucky.
Actually wants to be dead.
I don't understand reunions or nostalgia in general. People cling to the past like it was the best part of their lives. But do you know what most people spent most of the past doing? Waiting for the future to come so their miserable lives would improve.
Truth!
Really makes no sense to me. I don't live in the past. I look to the future. I am so ready to be in the future. The second my contract is up, I am out of here. I am retiring to someplace very far away with very few people, and I am never going to think about Las Vegas again.
Excellent.
Can't wait for that. Yeah, I want to see what the future holds, because I'm done here.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to be here, but I want to give the thing to her. Right, this is the first time we've got no one to speak to this, so. Right, I want to tell him about Sarah first. That she's actually this guy's wife.
Well, I did not see that coming.
They are freaks.
I only considered Sarah because, well, she seemed like such a sweet, wholesome girl.
Oh, she's wholesome, all
I
right.
had no idea she was married to an older man.
Hole full of
already
dicks.
Had a wife. I don't know what to think about that.
Don't judge. Don't judge, bro. Each to their own. Tell them about Becca and Todd.
Well, that's disappointing. I guess there's no reason to consider them as potential heirs anymore.
Why not? Well, I wouldn't say that. Mallory, she's gonna be dead soon, so there's no point in giving it to her.
That poor woman never catches a break, does she? I don't suppose it would be logical to leave a hotel to someone who's not going to be alive much longer than I am.
Truth. Yeah, that's true. And she's retiring, she wants nothing to do with Las Vegas, but we should give it to her because she's the only normal one. She's the only normal-ish one.
Well, that's surprising. I would have thought she'd be more emotionally invested in the Bellflower after running her magic act here for so long. I guess I must have misjudged her.
So what are you going to do with your hotel then?
Well, all 4 candidates have potential problems, but someone has to take over the hotel.
Me, I'll do it.
I don't have any more potential heirs, and I've run out of time to keep searching. Now, you've spoken to all of them. Who do you recommend?
Definitely leave it to Ashley, because Mallory's going to be dead, and she's a fucking weirdo. Sarah's a freak. Becca and Todd are fucking weirdos as well. But then again, is anything that Becca and Todd told us real? You know what I mean? Or was it just a lie that they were getting married? I don't know. It's just too much fucking subterfuge. We're going to leave it with Ashley.
I'm looking for someone to take over the hotel. If she wants nothing to do with Vegas, she'll probably just sell it.
Good, aye?
And that defeats the purpose of me selecting her as an heir.
Ah. Oh, this is cool. So she's earned it more than anyone else. She wants to leave Las Vegas because she has no reason to stay. I'm sure that would change if you inherited your hotel.
I hadn't thought about it that way. She might not feel a connection to this place right now, but once she becomes the owner, that may change. I'll have my lawyer put in a stipulation that if she inherits the Bellflower, she cannot sell it, just to be safe.
That's good.
Would you like to tell her? It only seems fair that you be the one to give her the good news.
Yeah, come on then. Let's give her it. I hope she hates it. I hope she despises me for giving it to her.
No problem. You're someone I can stand talking to.
Oh, that's good. There is no book. Mr. Davenport is dying. He asked me to interview select people he was considering leaving this resort to in his will. The something?
Okay. Did I win? Do I get the hotel?
You do. He's going to leave the hotel to you, but there's a catch. You can only inherit the place if you sign an agreement stating you'll never sell it.
Cool, I can do that.
Mr. Davenport passed away a few months later. Upon inheriting his estate, Ashley immediately hired a property management company to take over operations and retired to Alaska. She has not been spotted in Las Vegas since. I don't blame her, that's what I'd do. To be fair, she did the best thing. That's hilarious. Right, so it's not really a game, is it? So wait there, Ashley, Kim Rhodes. Sarah was Isabella Blake Thomas. I'm sure I've seen her in something. Isabella Blake.
Hey, yeah, I'm calling about the puppy? The missing puppy? I saw your flyer. Yes! I do. I found it. Now, you mentioned $100 reward. Yeah, I think you can do better than that. No, I was thinking $150. It's a really cute puppy. Well, then maybe your son can come up with an extra $50. Maybe a lemonade stand?
I knew I seen her in something. She's been in loads of movies. She's been in Secret Society of Second Born Royals, Green Balloon Club, Kepler's Dream, Little Glory, Pretty Outrageous, The League of Legend, Keeper's Shadows. Maybe I'm Fine and Evil Rose. I knew I recognised her face from something. Right, so tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call an episode there. But what I should have done before, actually, I have got a save game. I did save it, right. I want to quickly off camera blitz through everyone again, so we can have a choice at the end sequence. And I want to see what the other endings are, because I'm dying to see the ending of the freak, the girl that's like having sex with like the bloke, and she calls him daddy and stuff. That's gonna be some weird shit. I'll see you back in a second. Right, lads. I know I said I'd be back with the endings. But it turns out you can't actually have a save game of this. I did like save the save game folder and make a backup of it like before the second episode. And it doesn't actually change. So I don't know where the save file's stored, but it's not where I thought it was. And you have to go through the whole game again, and you can't skip the cutscenes. So I won't be seeing the ending, unfortunately. I'm probably just going to Google it and see somebody else has done it on YouTube. But that was it for the playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it, lads. See you in the next one. We do actually have another FMV game which I've downloaded. Which it might be a bit more interactive than this, because this was just choosing from dialogues. There was only one choice to make. It was a bit of a scam, really. But I'll see you in another playthrough in a bit, lads.